on his Facebook page. A lot of people from Dave Tolliver to Sir Knock. I know that he knew a lot of famous people like Public Enemy. I'm sure they've been contacted. I'm sure that everybody that he talked to been contacted, that he's done stuff for, and will be sending out condolences. Listen, I'm going to say this, that this is going to be huge. This is going to be large. And I understand that everybody wants to handle it. So please pray for his family, as well as pray for everybody that was affected closely, his loved ones. We are all affected by it. And I understand that. We're all affected by it. But Jesus, this hurts. This really, really, really hurts. And we understand why. Because he affected so many people. From Kevin MC Chill Hurd to Suave Gotti to Stoney Simpkins to Donald Peterson to anybody else, to DJ Ellery Smith put something up, to everybody, Stan Edward Moore of Cats. Y'all were like, I've been reading your posts and liking your posts, to Eileen, to Ollie, when I was a member of Cake Boy, Cake Girl, when we've had our things, he came out to support us. So I understand the ramifications of what happened because of his death, but I'm telling everybody else, from the community to the city council people, to the state senators, to the state reps, from Meredith Turner to our own Congresswoman Shontel Brown, the advocacy for the people still stands. Silver B was an advocate of the people. He was one of us. So we still need that advocacy. No matter who passes and who passes on, we still need that advocacy. And I don't care how everything goes. We still need that advocacy. And the thing, everybody needs to step up. And I'm calling on, and the thing about it is like, I'm going to be honest. I'm putting myself on the block here. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Me, Larry H. Gardner of this show. I created this show for community advocacy and to get people on the stars talking about everything. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to be doing, despite any faults and flaws that I may have. Listen, just because, and the thing about it is, I don't want, and to everybody that I talk about, to everybody that I say, I don't want you to humble yourself because somebody feels like that your shine is going to outshine their inconsistencies. You shine, but you also help others shine as well. All right, so I understand it's a quick thing, and another thing that happened in the sports world today. We all know that Brown season is coming up. We all know Deshaun Watson is going to be suspended for 11 games on the Brown season. Baker Mayfield's talking smack. Forget all that. Miles and Jadeveon Clowney and the rest of the defense of the Browns will handle the Carolina Panthers. Week 1, I'm predicting the Browns' victory. Jacoby Brissett will steer us in the right direction for the first 11 games before Deshaun Watson comes back into Houston, Texas. In NBA news, the Cleveland Cavaliers have acquired all-star guard Donovan Mitchell from the Utah Jazz. He has been traded to Cleveland. The Cavaliers give up 3 players, including one Colin Sexton, somebody else, and 2 other players, and a couple of 3 first-round draft picks for Donovan Mitchell. So that means that our starting backcourt will look like the young Darius Garland and the seasoned Donovan Mitchell, along with 2 7-footers in the front court. The Cavaliers went from being, now there's, in the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference, there's only 16 teams that make the playoffs. Well, 8 teams that make the playoffs per conference. So 16 teams overall. The Cavaliers were predicted not to make the playoffs this year, now being in the number, 3rd, 4th seed because of Donovan Mitchell. I think Donovan Mitchell's average is like 27 points per game. He can find ways to score. He can hit the downtown shot. Darius Garland, you need another and he's still young. I think Donovan Mitchell's like he's early 20s, 24, 25. He led the Utah Jazz in that tough Western Conference, which includes the Los Angeles Lakers, the Golden State Warriors, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Memphis Grizzlies. So I'm just going to be honest. There's really nothing in the East besides the Brooklyn Nets, the Boston Celtics, and there's so many tough teams in the West, the Phoenix Suns. We got the Milwaukee Bucks over in the East, the Brooklyn Nets, and what other team? What other team? Oh, the Boston Celtics. I mean, the Bulls and stuff like that, the Cavaliers on the Central Division. So with this group of young core guys, we should be fine. A lot of people that don't, where was the Colin Sexton? We're getting Ricky Rubio back after season-ending surgery. A lot of people were injured. Otherwise, we pretty much would have had that seat on lock. We had to do the play-in tournament against the Atlanta Hawks and Trae Young. And the thing about it is Trae Young smoked us in the fourth quarter. I saw that playing game. But Jared Allen, Mobley, and Darius Garland make up the Cavaliers All-Stars, and I think that we're going to be great with Donovan Mitchell. But I want to talk about women's tennis. Serena Williams is the GOAT. I said it. A couple of people said it. And a lot of people will disagree with me if you watch tennis to Wimbledon. What about Steffi Graf, Martina Navratilova, Chris Everett, Billie Jean King? No, baby. Serena Williams is the GOAT. She won the U.S. Open last night, and everybody said that she's too thick to win. Read that melon. That her and Venus have been dominating tennis ever since they came into this month. And the thing about it is, I like Venus, but Serena's the younger sister, and she's better than her. That's scary. Serena Williams is the GOAT. GOAT means the greatest of all time. And she's the greatest, or one of the greatest of all time. And people like to use GOAT loosely. But the thing about it is she's won like 23 Grand Slam. All the times she's won Wimbledon, doubles with her sister Venus, singles by herself. I mean, the Wimbledon final one time, I don't know how many times this happened, was her and Venus competing in Wimbledon against each other, sisters competing against each other. Venus won 1-1, Serena won 1, but Serena is the greatest of all time. And I put Venus number 2. No, I put Venus number 2. And in this era of tennis. And the reason why I say this, not to disrespect, because I watched Wimbledon with Roger Federer and John McEnroe and, Andre Agassi, Monica Seles before that incident where she was stabbed on the court. Poor Monica. And Steffi, everybody says Steffi Graf. And it was... The reason why I say that is because it brought a new era to the sport, a new swag, like Tiger Woods did with golf. Because you don't expect African Americans to be in those sports. The only person that we watched African American be in those sports in tennis was the late, great Arthur Ashe. So Serena Williams to me is the GOAT because she made me fall in love with tennis once again, not because of the way she looked, but the way she played with power, with aggression. Her and Venus came into the sport as young children and they took it over. They took it over because of the simple fact of the matter is they were dominant enough. They had a father who believed in them. I think that's what I'm trying to get at here. Silver B believed in us, just like Richard Williams believed in his daughters to the point now we're talking about Serena Williams, the younger Williams sister, out of the two as being the greatest of all time. Okay, you can talk about greatest of all time in a sport, pretty much. And here's the thing. I'm not disrespecting the Steffi Graf because she had played in those eras. Everybody compares LeBron to Jordan. Everybody compares Tom Brady to everybody else. Joe Montana. Okay. there are many facets of being GOATs, greatest of all times in there. Do I think that Serena Williams, if in her prime, could have played in the 80s with Steffi Graf and Martina Navratilova and all those? Yeah. There would have been some great matches. But in her era, and somebody said, I think Mad Dog of First Take, he said, I like the Steffi Graf and the tennis. I don't think she would have won many, but she would have dominated because of the physical stature. Because nobody's seen a woman like that come in here and just just tear everything up, wreck everything, and leave. By the way, speaking of First Take, watch it tomorrow of this because of the Donovan Mitchell trade from the Utah Jazz to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Tweet Stephen A. Smith. I hate to do this to the brother. I just saw something on break. Well, before I started the show, period, that Stephen A. Smith was going nuts because the New York Knicks did not get Donovan Mitchell in that trade. He was like, and you know Stephen A. Smith is a New York Knicks fan. I'm going to cook some breakfast. I'm going to cook some breakfast. Make me some sausages. Some eggs tomorrow. I went to the store today. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to have me a cup of coffee. And I'm going to watch Stephen A's face tomorrow on First Take. I'm going to be in my living room. I might do a live to see his reaction. I just want to do it. I just want to do it. Cleveland, we got a superstar. Yes, understandable. We love LeBron. But listen, LeBron is in his twilight. He signed a 2-year extension with the Lakers. By the way, for $89 million for over 2 years. He'll be back. But to have a guy like, and somebody said, we could have gave up some of that for Durant. Listen, I understand people want a KD here. It would be nice to have the tarantula here. But the Nets wasn't going to give him up. Not him nor Kyrie. Despite the disgruntled nature of the two superstars in Brooklyn Nets uniforms, you know the Nets organization, we would have to sell the Cleveland Cavaliers to get KD for Brooklyn. That would not happen. That's not going to happen. Shout out to Kobe Altman, the general manager, for pulling that off. Listen, we gave up a lot for him. Well, listen, when you got a 3-time All-Star who's led his team to the playoffs, and it's hard to put Utah on the map, dunk contest extraordinaire, scorer. He's like, the thing about it, this guy got 27 points per contest in the West against the Warriors, against the Lakers, against those tough defenses. You don't think he's going to put up numbers in this Eastern Conference? Shoot. I'm about to cuss. Y'all make me want to cuss sometimes. Y'all gotta, y'all tripping. Y'all, okay, Colin Sexton gone. Okay, we love you, Colin. Oh, by the way, Colin Sexton's not feeling any way because the sources tell me from Twitter that Colin Sexton did a sign and trade deal with the Utah Jazz. Now he's got to get 4 years for $72 million. So he's getting $18 million a year for 4 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Colin Sexton's getting it. So Colin Sexton, he'll say bye-bye Cleveland, but he went to Utah and got that bag for the Jazz. We gave up, some people say, we gave up too much. Listen, what are Kobe Altman and Andrew Berry, the general managers for the Browns and Cavaliers, somebody said to get an all-star like that, screw them picks. Them picks is no, let me explain. Shout out to Don Peterson, Pizzle, for saying that. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm excited. You know, even though we lost the legend, I'm sure Silver B would be excited as well for Cleveland sports. He always loved the Browns, Cavaliers, and Guardians. who used to be the Indians, now they're the Guardians. Let's be politically correct here. Silver B has always enjoyed being around, just enjoyed Cleveland. And sometimes we got to remember where we live at. We got to enjoy Cleveland. We got to enjoy Cleveland. We got to enjoy the beautiness of it. We got to enjoy our neighborhoods and everything else like that. We just got to enjoy Cleveland. And I enjoy being on this station because the simple fact of the matter is that when legends pass through here, you can pick up on a lot of them. You can be a legend yourself. Just stay humble and let your shine and let your true talent glow and grow just like he did. He started off in radio. He was a radio personality. He's been on TV, radio, everywhere. Silver Beat, like I said, everywhere. So we're going to play one of his favorite artists, Michael Jackson. We all felt like Silver Beat was gone too soon, and he has been. When I come back, before I finish about my tribute to Silver Beat, I'm going to talk about Chris Rock putting his foot in his mouth again. And he wasn't slapped this time. We'll be right back on Headlines and Headaches on VoiceOfRadio.com.